Fine with this. It's quite an exciting map. Oh, it's interesting. Mirage is second, but ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're getting into the first map of the grand final. NIP versus Immortal. I know you're ready for this one. We'll have a look at the buy for NIP. They'll be starting on the T side. Forest with the Deagle. Bringing it in Nico style. We haven't seen this yet. We'll see what he can do with this one. It's going to be 3 sets of armor for the other players, and Pitt, he's on the smoke and 2 flashbangs. No real aggression from the CTs, but all 5 players from NIP set up towards the A side. This is going to be a fast play.
Watch Get Right, though, inside of the squeaky door, because if he comes out late right now to catch Phelps after the boost, there was an opportunity to make it work. He didn't quite go on it because Exist didn't have the read through the smoke, so Phelps will fade away toward Highway. It leaves just the boost. And we talk about retake on the A site. This is a bit of a change to that because they are still playing passive, but relying on this single USP. And does Freiburg have a read on this? Did he hear them boosting up? Because he's got the crosshair looking there, but they're going to overpass it. Oh, just spots it late. No kills coming out so far from Bolts in that position. Forrest closes it out. And thankfully, the smoke on the top of Highway meant Phelps couldn't catch the distracted players. So NIP, a good entrance, better still. Exist going to find Phelps. Remember, we talked about NIP yesterday struggling with pistol rounds, specifically against Godsent. Oh, Freiburg certainly not going to have any of that, but watch out. Lucas still makes a case for this. It's down to 2 versus 2. Exist hold station in behind quad. It's all showtime. The man who can knife inside the smoke, but this time he's got to go for the defuse himself, and no kit yet picked up to do so with.
Manages to get the first headshot, though. It comes down to Exist. He's in that quad area. Time ticking away. Like you said, no kick. Has to act very fast. Can he find the headshot? Does a ton of damage. It comes down to Exist. Timing away, but he's going to do it, I think. There won't be time to defuse there.
He did pick up the kit, though.
He's done it.
He's actually got this. He picked up the kit at the front of quad, so he's going to pull the clutch at the very last second showtime. And Exist, I don't know whether or not he knew he had the kit for sure, but he definitely tried to bait that out as long as possible. But really good clutch from Showtime and good composition to pick that up on the way through.
Amazing stuff there. What are the chances he manages to pick up that kit on the 2 versus 1 situation? Exist thought he had that one tied up. He took a ton of damage there on the first exchange. It was a simple play from NIP, just trying to get the bomb down as quickly as possible, smoke towards Highway, and finding that boosted player as well. It looked like it was perfect. And they're actually be going in with 4 spy on the second round here. We saw this early in the tournament. 2 AKs and 3 pistols. Once you drop 2 rifles down to the players that got frags, and they can get armor and a few grenades as well. Looking like the buy for Immortals. They've got 3 SMGs here and 2 rifles. This could definitely work out for NIP. It's an audacious move, but it's what's required in grand finals to get you wins.
And they're going to play this slow as a result of it. They haven't shown hand yet with these AK-47s. There won't be the read yet from Immortals. In fact, they're likely expecting the second round early buy, if anything, with that bomb plant. But Pitt's boosted, good position to be in, play a long spot. Get Right's come back around from B, couldn't find an opening pick, so he's going to add to this firepower that they'll have in middle. And it's Henny that's in the open. And Get Right comes out worse for wear on that. The UMP actually puts Get Right down to 25, and that AK's given up because he fires through the edge. Almost the same amount of damage in return, but now they know the buy's up.
Yeah, they know the AKs are present, and you can see them adjusting themselves, allowing NIP to have middle for now. You can see if you look towards the B side, we've got Showtime and Lucas hiding in the back there, holding the crossfire. Same story in A as well. Not going to be hunting for frags whatsoever. I think we have got Phelps boosted up once again. So he'll be looking for that first frag. He needs to be baited in by his teammates here, though. NIP still have smokes remaining and flashbangs. Looks like it will be an A split from Highway.
And they've got Henny and Bolts so close to him inside of that A site, so Phelps hits the first shot easily. Now they swarm back out. Watch Highway. Good read from Bolts as he turns around and catches them in the act, but Pitt, he's still in this. And his AK's found 2 to bring this to an even situation, and he's going to go hunting as well toward the truck. Good damage already onto Lucas, but he's caught out in the open, and that's the rifle gone. So Exist puts the ROM down, but he's only got the Deagle to hold this off with no armor. And he's going to have to almost play this perfectly. So far, that's not working out. 12 HP. He's able to dodge that first flash, get into an open position, try and catch Lucas off, but it doesn't work.
So NIP going for that mid control. It's normally Get Right that's more than happy to go out there by himself. He takes a ton of damage at the start of the round, goes down to 25 HP. They go for the A split, but once the AKs were detected, you can see Immortals adjusting himself. Once again, that boost of the UMP still is a very viable weapon in certain situations, and they come out on top. The 2 versus 1 exists. No armor, like he said. Desert Eagle gets the bomb down, though, so they'll be eco this round, but going into the next one, they will be able to get a nice full buy going forward. So Force Buy doesn't work out, but still not the end of the world. Immortals readdressing their buy now. They're going to be more than happy to go against these pistols. It's actually going to be 4 Desert Eagles and a P250, but they've got 5 rifles across the board. A couple of kits as well. That's been a problem for Immortals in previous matchups, but this is a good start they wanted, Matt. They've had some good results.
Walks in front of everyone instead of going around. Got to call him out on that one. Freiburg, though, inside, going to look through that smoke, but Get Right getting closer. Showtime and Lucas, they can play these angles out this time. They know for sure there won't be a buy. The deagle from Get Right, though, still does have a chance at distance, but it's got to be deadly accurate. That nade's going to do huge damage onto Freiberg with no armor, so down to 45. And exists, other side of the map, hit by bolts. Need to do some economic damage here. Continue to force these rebuys up so when NIP can get another buy.
Yeah.
It'll at least be a contest. There won't be the chance to get broken right away.
Well, the CTs are starting to hunt for information. Now Phelps has pushed in towards A main, but it's looking like he will find Pitt. That's the first kill on that side of the map, and now the rest of the NIP players are making their way towards B. They haven't got any grenades as well. I was hoping these one digs come into fruition. The bomb's still down towards T-spawn, so it's Get Right lurking in, hunting. But there's 2 players waiting for me. I don't think he can get anything out of this. No, he cannot. Showtime takes him down. Now 2 players remain, Forrest and Freiberg. Just don't have any positional control really. Forrest in the vents, surely not going to get much more out of this round.
And this is the issue. If they keep 5 up, which they'll do with Phelps getting the final 2. Gives them a round in hand. So even though NIP is going to pull up the AKs right now, if they win 1 round, there'll still be a buy. They'll have to win 2 straight gun rounds just to get the economy limited on the Immortals side, which does mean the potential for a break. So you go that 3-1 scoreline. Yes, it's only 3 rounds built up, but NIP can get reset early on and often extends itself to something like 5-1, 6-1 before the terrorist side can really get back into it.
When we go into the first real gun round here. No orbs on either side. It's going to be a default from NIP. 2 towards the middle, 2 towards that B storage area. It's Get Right leading the charge. He'll be going to get towards checker room as fast as he possibly can, but Showtime waiting for him. That incendiary will slow him down. Bomb's still down towards the middle, so nothing really coming in just yet, but just trying to get some control and find that first frag. But Showtime, he's got a lot of problems here as he goes down. There's Freiberg boosting up Get Right to the vents, but a reply from Henny brings it into an even kill. 4-4 now.
Try and take over mid once more. Freiberg's already gotten inside of that checker room, but look how low he is, 13 HP. Lucas, oh, they almost spot each other, just the timing slightly off. Is inside of that B site still. He's the only one here though, and NIP's grouping up. There's going to be a late rotation. Phelps is going to try and go for a flank, but he's just getting to the end of A main now, and Bolts, he's only at Z connector, so if NIP act quick enough here, if they can get the information, get a read, they're waiting for Forrest to find someone in the middle. They might have had the opening, but it's gone now with Bolts getting over inside of the site as well. Not just a tree where he can be easily smoked off by one of the 3 that NIP have. So they will go for that position. That smoke does land out on top of Heaven, not down below just yet. The second one's sure to follow up. It's there now. But again, Bolts is already here, and he's playing this so slow and conservatively inside that headshot position through the smoke, spotted him there. Showtime and Bolts able to close out on 2, but Exist gets 1 reload there. It's going to give Pitts the opportunity, and he's staring back to find Henny, who only manages 1 onto Exist. So it's the 1 versus 1.
Wow.
He thinks the ball.
Big plays from Pitt, stepping up just when NIP needed as well. I feel like the Ninjas are a little bit too slow though. They had full control of the B site. They had no vision on what was going on towards A. We saw Phelps pushing in all the way from T-spawn. He gave the information to his teammates and actually had a stack going on at the B bomb site. They had it covered, and NIP will control the checkers as well. You thought they would strike a little bit sooner, but no harm, no foul as Pitt steps up there in the 2 versus 1 and hits some stellar headshots there. No plant required. And we go into round number 5. Still enough money for Immortals to buy, and they go for the double orb setup this time. We'll see whether Henny and Showtime can step up here. It's normally Showtime's a little bit more aggressive, playing towards that B area, as you see on your screen right now, looking for the first pick, but he's got Get Right to deal with.
Showtime. Ooh, you would have thought he had time on that one. That was a very long and wide peak, but not able to hit the shot. Same double up setup they ran this morning with Henny and Showtime. And having not hit that first shot, he's already gone. Showtime electing to go back toward that headshot position inside of the B site. He'll play off of Lucas, but right now the aggression is put toward middle wall of smokes, and Get Right wants to go through. It does do decent damage onto Phelps, but goes down. And he read that quite well, Phelps. He stood on the wide side of that, so he could spot that wall in case Get Right wanted to get on the inside of that white box.
Get Right is trying to make things happen by himself right now. He has got no backup from his teammates. He's running through smokes, and the CT is just ready for him. There's no flashbangs coming in, and CT has a huge advantage in that situation. It's up to Forrest now. He's already been legged by the AWP when he got boosted up, so he's struggling for HP. Phelps has been hit as well, though. It looks like another B split potential here. Forrest normally holds the vent area. He waits for the rotation and gives his team information while they try and execute towards the site. Lucas and Showtime waiting for them there, and there's an AWP as well to get that first pick as they execute onto the site.
Flash comes through and hits Forrest at the exact moment he wants to enter from that vent position, but he's still alive. Not for long, though. Bolt's finding him, but traded out. Exist might have a chance in this entry. Watch Showtime at backside, though. No smoke is going to cover that position. They've got 1 out toward Bolts. That gives them the position at tree, but Showtime hits the first. And don't forget as well that Lucas is still over by the generator, and he's found 2. They don't even look at him when they walk through.
I think Bolts actually wallbanged him from CT spawn into the checker rooms there. Forest. That was pretty cool.
Actually pretty sick.
Yeah, once again, it's NIP. I feel like they're giving away too much at the start. It's Get Right is trying to make things happen time and time again by himself. And if that works, it looks amazing. But as soon as he dies and is leaving his teammates not many options, it doesn't look too promising for them. But we're going to round number 6. It's going to be the full force buy from NIP. It is. So they are fully reset. They will be double eco anyway. So going in with the Tech 9s, PT50s, and some smokes and flashbang could be a fast A play. Forest squeaky door by himself. Lots of teammates going towards A main.
And this is the reset we talked about. It was back-to-back gun rounds that NIP needed to win. They're going to go completely past Phelps. Great headshot damage onto him, though, that did come in from Exist. Is going to give them a chance. And Get Right goes back to capitalize. Gives them the one man. Forest down on 6 HP, but look how far Henny is out of this. And with the smokes out, they can actually get this bomb down quite quickly. Good nade. Forest found on that. It's planted in the open, though. Get Right has control of A main. No flank coming in. Henny's the only one that's not coming from the truck side. He's actually at the highway position right now with that AWP, and a great pickup by Freiberg is going to slow them further. And this AWP has to weigh it out because Henny, even though he wants to get closer, it's going to rely on Lucas to get the information and Get Right, and Freiberg set the cross up perfectly.
Those rounds can work out so well. A couple of simple smokes running through the Tech 9s there. We saw the CDs try to go aggressive through the smoke. Got the first kill as well, but that segregated him. Couldn't enter the bomb site until his teammates rotated over. NIP found a couple of kills, and it's actually Forest who suicides to pick up the AK, throws it to his teammate just as the HE lands on his body. So that's a really big round there for NIP to pick up, and it's reset the Immortals here. They go in 4-2, but a heavy advantage towards NIP. It's pretty much a full EK here for the CTs now. They're going to have USPs, Deagles, PT50s, and looking for those initial kills. No real stacks coming in. It's more of a default play, 2-2-1 towards that A bomb site.
And this is where Get Right's been so good at clearing out these positions this time. He doesn't look at showtime.
He's dying by himself. You don't need to be doing that in these anti-eco situations. Play together. Make sure you have someone for the refrag. It looks great when he's getting all the kills and he's lurking and finding them, but there's just no need to force that situation. If you do go down, luckily this time he hasn't given away an AK, but he has given them a chance into this one.
Oh, and that's why Freiberg and Exist have come back over as well. They want to keep an eye on that AK.
When Freck came into this team, this is what they were so good at, the anti-eco situations. He really gave them amazing fundamentals, but they're looking a little bit shaky here in the grand final. I think maybe a pause at some point just to discuss the options here, but still have a massive advantage, obviously, considering the firepower.
Well, let's opt to clear out Cubby. Not used, and that's their last one, not used to clear sandbags. So it does mean Henny is still in that position, and a great shot from Phelps, who's at Z. They know there's one in the middle. There's a great chance now if they go up to repeat this or try and push through to catch out Phelps that Henny's going to be completely overlooked. So the positioning right now is actually quite good for Immortals. But it's on B that they'll approach. Remember, there is an AK now down out toward mid that's easily pick up and readily available for Henny as he rotates around. Freiberg into the site, not yet spotting. Inside is Lucas, and a great play from Phelps coming through late, but they have traded both those back. It's still a man down, and Henny's got that AK. You mentioned it, the problem's on the anti-ecos. Forest on an AWP, has to use a Tech 9, great shot, snaps it around. Oh!
Here we go.
Forest finally getting some accuracy, 3 kills in the round, and he's got 10 seconds. And he's got the bomb, and he's got to book it. He's got to plant this immediately inside the radius when he arrives, and he's just got there. Thought he stumbled on it with that first step, but thankfully the bomb goes down. It was all he could manage out of this. Henny's going to rotate over, and it's AK-47 versus AWP at Forest. He's looking at highway. But as time goes on, it's process of elimination. He's figured out the angle, and it's going to be Schulten. Can't land it on the first shot. He's going to fall back, use that Tech 9, let him get a little bit closer, and play the time. Smoke immediately on it. Henny does not have a kit, so it's a 10-second defuse, and Forrest catches him out.
The absolute master of the clutch situations. Time and time again on this tournament, he's shown why he is one of the greatest of all time. Saving his teammates once again. You have to say, Get Right, giving away that kill a little bit too easily, and the round fell apart for them. 3 versus 1. Forest with the Tech 9, pushing towards the CT spawn. Very, very composed stuff. Good.
And he'd go eat your heart out, because that was every bit as fast as his reactions.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was so fast, that snap around from Forest.
They need to calm down a little bit, IP. Just think about the consequences of their actions sometimes, but they managed to avoid devastation there. We go into round number 8. It's another double AWP setup for the CTs. The shoot Showtime will be going for that aggressive B pick once again. It's more passive this time, holding towards the bomb site. Get Right makes it towards the checker area. And he holding with the AWP towards mid. They have got control of the checkers and boosting up to the vent once again.
So hold with the position on toward the vent. They've given up mid as a response to this because Henny can't afford to peek it out. He's got no idea what's gone on toward drop. Forest is still facing this. So he just wants to make sure no one can cross toward B, as Get Right has already done. If a second man follows, try and get the early pick onto him. Lucas Showtime Different angles again this time inside of that B site. Showtime not playing over by Generator. They're both going to plug up onto the right side, and Showtime, just as he slips over, is able to find Get Right. Who's the first to fall yet again. It's a second shot, baits it off the flash, and Freiburg is found. Smoke lets them cross over, and he nearly walls through to do some damage further onto Forest.
There's no pressure being applied really to the CTs, just getting open shots at the moment, and it looks like Showtime setting up for his third, but it's Exist opening it up. 2 headshots on the bomb side. Now there's a chance. 3-on-3 as they plant the bomb.
And it's Forest's obligation to watch toward this vent. That's where 2 players are coming right now. That's going to be the next best approach, as Henny has to wait with the AWP. So Forest in trouble, and that flash catches him. That lets Phelps go. Now Henny can get in a better position on Heaven. Pitt's going to try and make up for this, but he's caught in the open, sliding down the wall. Exist opened this up with 2 quick kills. He's going to need the ace to close it. They're going to get closer. There's the third. Both in the open. Looks for the information, just trying to bait this out as long as possible, but it can't happen. Phelps, he's going to deny the hero play this time.
NIP just didn't have the grenades available to make that a real possible option. That full B execution, need the Molotovs dropped on the side to actually get the CTs out and flush them into difficult situations. You can see Showtime there picking up 2 pretty easy kills, I have to say, holding his position strong. Exist finally takes him down with 2 great headshots, but it wasn't enough. The retake coming in too fast. Good flashbangs used from Immortals in that vents area, took down Forest, and there's the shots on your screen right now. You can see there's no real pressure, he's not being flashed, there's no smoke in his way. That's pretty standard stuff from him, and it's going to be around going in favor of Immortals. 5-3 here on the first map of the grand final. It's going to be a back and forth affair of NIP, and now onto an eco once again. Maybe to straight up B rush here. They know Showtime has the AWP, and it's a good way to shut him down after he takes the first shot if you can get the Deagles in there nice and quick.
And to be fair, as this is, it could be a lineup for Showtime. It is an anti-eco. He's got the first shot quite convincingly. They're going to rush in though, and that actually opens up 1. Means Lucas has to stay smart here and play the angles correctly. He's managed 2, but he's got to switch to the pistol, push through as well. Watch Freiburg. He's trying to slow down these rotations slightly by getting in toward that tree position. Good shot on Lucas, but it's just him that remains. 1 versus 3.
The bombs in CT spawn.
Yeah, so this is going to be over. I was going to mention, there's been 3 rounds now where they've been taken down from that headshot position. Lucas has done it. We saw Showtime do it last round. And interestingly enough, when they had not to as a coach, he was a big advocate for throwing the Molotov through the skylight at Toxic to land there.
Oh yeah,
and yet they're not doing it at all here. That's another very easy set piece to throw.
That's the point I was making. They didn't actually have anything available for it. That's why it's be so difficult to take over, especially even if you have checker control. You don't have the grenades or even flashbangs going to the site. There was no flashes, no pressure applied to the CTs, but there it is. NIP go for the B rush. Like I said, if the AWP, even if he hits the first shot, you can come around and reset him before he actually gets the chance to take a second. We go into round number 10. It's going to be pretty much a force buy from NIP here. It's going to be Pitt on the Tech 9 and Galil and Forest hands, and 5 men towards B once again. Lucas, though, a little bit more aggressive this time, baited in by Showtime.
This was the position where Showtime caught out Get Right last time on the anti-eco.
Here we go. This is more like
yeah, those are the exact Molotovs. But Lucas plays off of it. He gets the call that they're being thrown in from Showtime, sees that they're in the open, and he walks back out. He's going to try and flash himself back in as well. He may find more, but Freiburg, he's going to solve the riddle by jumping over the box. It still gives Showtime good position. And there's only a smoke that'll cover that. Phelps is going to hold off on middle. Bomb's been dropped intentionally by Freiburg. He wants to go see if he can open this back up and give him a chance to rotate over, but Phelps on top of the hut sees the feet first, and Freiburg can't even spot up his opposition in that case.
Well then, this round was a perfect reaction from Immortals after playing so passively on the side the last few rounds. NIP thought they had their number with that full execution with the Molotovs. It's Lucas changing things up, and he's a thorn in their side as he plays aggressively and gets the first 2 kills and locks down any sort of player they had towards that B side. It's going to be a 4-on-2 now. Forest and Pitt remain. Have got the bomb in hand, going for a boost towards middle, hoping they can find this first frag. Phelps will be waiting for them though. This first shot's going to be very important. There it is, of course. Forest lands it. 3-on-2 now.
Pith with bomb is actually going to stay on his own here. This is actually quite interesting that he's waited this long with 20 seconds to rotate back over with Forest already inside B main. Showtime's left the site, but a second smoke, that'll put Forest deeper in on the entry. It's harder to line that shot up. He's going to try and look toward headshot, doesn't see it, but Showtime knows he's in there, and Pitt has to go 7 seconds.
Yeah.
He made, not quite. And he has to save the weapon. He can't die after the time. This is a huge problem. They're going to peek him. He goes down as soon as the clock expires.
Desperately went for the plant there, but as soon as he touched it, 3 seconds of the clock, you need to see at least 4 for it to be a successful plant. Doesn't work out, and that's going to mean Pitt gets no money going into round number 11 here. So that force buy, they had 3 AKs, a Gillo, and a Tech 9. Not going to be working out for them. It was a 4-on-2, and Forest finding that first kill was something to work with, but he goes towards CT spawn, and Showtime hitting the shots time and time again. He's currently on 11 for 5. We have a timeout now for NIP. I felt like there's been a lot of situations where they've made it a lot more difficult for themselves than they have to. Of a lot of these B plays without the Molotovs and just walking into the crosshairs of the Brazilians. looking very comfortable for them right now. 7-3. Money for an IP, not great. They've got about 3K average across the board, apart from Pitt, of course, getting no cash from the last round. He's on 1,200, so I'd assume this had to be an eco. Maybe they could go for that Tech 9 force buy once again, try that A play once more. We know these guys are more than capable of making that weapon work and picking up some rifles and then clutching out those situations, but so far so good for the Immortals. We said they needed a good start here to really get deep in this grand final, but this is a dream scenario so far, even after some turbulent rounds.
T-side and IP as well on cash.
Well, we haven't seen an AWP yet for an IP. It's all been about the AKs and making sure they force into these situations. Forest, of course, will be the one picking up the AWP, but Showtime and Henny looking like they're locking down most of these situations. Showtime especially. It looks like NRP don't really want to focus their efforts towards A too much. It's all about getting that B control, getting towards checkers, either boosting up towards the vent or doing the full B execute. They're quite stubborn in that respect. I'd prefer them just to try and work together. Maybe a few more splits here up highway. That was working out quite nicely for them. The time ticking away on the pause. We'll see what happens here. We saw it on Cobble actually. NIP so far behind against Astralis, took the pause, and then they really came to life at that moment.
The interesting thing is on this timeout, it's done at a time where they have to save. We often see this. Some people continue to question it, but it's Glocks right now. No commitment to a buy at all. 10 seconds, and we're back underway. They have at least brought out Deagles and Tech 9s now. I doubt they're going to go for armor. It's going to be 4 rounds against them if they don't pick this one up.
Indeed, I don't think they will. They've got to smoke a flash. Tech 9, few Deagles. Pitt obviously can't afford anything. He'll just be a Glock and the bomb. So he's just been elected to run into the site and try and get that down at all costs. I'm going to guess they go towards A in this respect, smoke towards highway, flash in towards quad, and just hope for the best. That's pretty much the only option I can see being viable. But here it is then. This should be quite a simple round for Immortals here, but Phelps getting a little bit aggressive towards that smoke. This could be amazing or detrimental to him. Let's see how this works out.
He's the only one here as well. Bolts is the next closest on highway, so caught in the open. Does manage 2 though with that M4, and Bolts will bail him out. He's still got ammunition left to find one more, and it's just get right left. Phelps, all 4 on the entry. And he does it in one clip, past the pistol. And we mentioned it, it's going to be 2,900 going in for the injection. Pitt went to go for the P250. He ended up with $900 to start the round, that didn't get a single kill out of it. So he's limited as he's gone to go with utility instead of just going in completely with just armor and an AK. He has to go with the Galil in this situation. So still a slight handicap against them, and it's a double up setup for Henny and Showtime.
Yeah, sticking with this as long as they possibly can. It looks like we will see another default coming in here for an IP. Nades going in towards that boost area. I'm going to be there waiting for it though. Pitt's working towards Freaky Door, and Forest getting some positional control of A main as well, but it looks like a CT pushing through. Easy kill. What is Henny playing out the AWP? That's a very bold move. No flashbangs coming in for him. That's very intense to be going through like that. I'm not sure what he was thinking, but
Overthinking it, I think, altogether.
It just wasn't required. There's no exit strategy if that goes wrong.
And it did go wrong.
Oh,
very,
yes.
very wrong. Lucas is also tagged down to 64. And IP's going to group the bomb toward middle. This should be a highway split with Forrest getting Phelps. That'll further strengthen that idea. As Freiburg's already cleared out Cubby, they'll Molotov off of the vents just to make sure no one else can push through, and leave Exist now to be the anchor as Bomb's going to rotate back over. Pitt's still waiting inside of the squeaky position as well. Door's not yet open. Bolt may be able to do something of that behind the forklift if he peeks correctly. The problem is if he... Well, if the play doesn't happen as soon as that smoke goes, if he peeks right, Forrest will be entering in and he'll be in the line of sight. So it should be an easy trade at the very least for NIP, which leaves Lucas at fence.
Flashbangs towards A now. Huge advantage for NIP, but it's going to be Bolts from MBK taking down the first player. And Lucas chiming in as well, but it's going to be the exchange going in favor of NIP. Just Showtime now, the B player with the AWP. Surely doesn't have any precedent coming into this one, but he will be exiting. There it is. Back towards CT spawn. Doesn't want to lose the AWP, but that all came down to that play from Henny at the start of the round. Obviously, we talked about Cash being one of the most reactive CT maps. There's lots of options to go aggressive and get those first picks, but pushing through a smoke by any flashbang, anything, or anyone to even back you up, that's a bold move, and he does get punished for it. That opens up the floodgates for NIP to get towards the A site. Forrest actually getting the second kill through the smoke here, so once again, it's up to Forrest to deliver the goods for NIP here. Showtime makes his way towards T-spawn, and at this point, NIP's money, like you said before, isn't fantastic, so they can't really justify even going for the hunt here. They know he's got an AWP, and if he manages to pick up 2 of the kills, then they're absolutely done for in terms of the rebuy. Forrest does find his own AWP though, so something to work with, and I'm glad that explosion is not going to be present in the grand final map.
No heart attacks for Henry.
Not this time.
Get Right, considering we talked him up and Flair brought him up on the desk as well, is sitting at 3-11 again. You mentioned how solo he's been playing and going down early in a lot of these rounds. It's going to be something that has to be addressed, but Forrest, as you mentioned as well, holding it down. It's going to go to the AWP this time, T-side on Cash, which is a little bit bold. It indicates they're going to play a heavy pick strategy off the start of this, because this is one of the maps where a lot of the T-sides will just completely ignore that AWP. And Immortals have 2 up again this time around, which does mean if they die this time, they're going to go down.
For the spam in the middle. Oh, I thought he was going to get it there. That was actually perfect. How do you hit that shot? It would have been amazing. I haven't really seen that in a grand final before, but here we go then. Round number 13, coming into the dying sectors of this first half.
This is a bold position to play as well for Showtime, that close to the doorway with the AWP. Re-smokes and reconsiders. He's actually going to get in a position where he can peek out toward Get Right, who again is alone out on Checkers, or excuse me, on Toxic. And that AK first is the AWP. Smart flash, does force out the shot. He now knows he's there and tries to catch him in transition, expecting that he's going to rotate back inside of the site. He's the only one in B. There's 4 players on A right now from Immortals.
Yeah, they're all on that side, but Showtime, he's been so strong on the B side. They're taking a little bit of a gamble that NIP may be too rattled to go towards that side of the map. Freiburg gets out towards middle, uncontested for now. Bomb's still down as well, so they're just trying to gain some positional control at this point. They're probably given the call momentarily after he Molotovs towards the sandbags area that no one's here whatsoever. They can get a smoke in towards that connector area and then make their next move. But Phelps, he's pushing A storage. This next frag to be very important indeed.
Oh, what a jump around from Get Right, though. He didn't even take any damage from that. It would have looked like Phelps had him dead to rights, but a brilliant entry. And Lucas, limited at Z connector, is going to have Freiburg staring that down when he shows himself, but a great shot with the M4. He's going to pull this even. Watch the HP, though. That's going to heavily stack in the favor of NIP, and there they convert the kills as Exist walks in, follow it up. Forrest has Lucas. It's down to just Showtime. Nade, for what it's worth, onto the site. Doesn't really do much, but bombs in the hands of Exist, and he's not completely comfortable going for the default movement, staying away from this position, so he expects a little bit more of a push, and Showtime's already going to go for the save.
Lovely work there from Get Right. They get that mid control and just completely shut down any rotating CTs. It was Phelps trying to push that A storage area. They waited, and they were patient NIP. They knew they'd taken a vision away from the CTs, waited for their reaction. We talk about Cash being one of those maps where the CTs, as soon as they're up against it, they need to be hunting for information, trying to make something happen. It was Phelps this time. He gets shut down. Called the signal in for the A split. 3 players still alive for NIP as well. Showtime once again saving the AWP, but NIP slowly but surely getting themselves back into this one. As it goes 8-5. Money's not fantastic here for Immortals. With the AWP save, though, on a map like Cash with so many options to go for those first picks. Squeaky door, A main, middle, B storage. As long as you can get something going with a decent spawn, you can find the first pick, reposition yourself, and make it a viable round. Lucas is going to be helping out with the MP9. Not sure that's going to do too much here, but if he pushes Squeaky door, gets a tight angle, that could be something interesting. It's going to be Showtime going towards middle here. You'd assume NIP will just go for a straight-up default at this point, work out what the AWP is, and then try and react quickly once they hit the first shot.
So Showtime and Henny together, no boost right now. It's going to instead be a squeaky push door, opens flash through. Pit will have heard that. So gets into a safer position, also brings Exist over to add some aid if he needs it. Other than that standard default, nothing really changing right now is, perhaps, as you say, getting back to that traditional discipline anti-eco play that NIP's known for.
Well, at this moment, they know it's going to be a very low buy, even if there is one. Wait till the CTGs, whatever utility they have, bleed them out, and then you can make your next move. Forrest has the AWP, allow him to make these picks. You can see we have got one player towards the sandbags area. He's going to be Molotov momentarily, surely. That's going to be Henny. Showtime's waiting, though. With that AWP still towards middle. There are 2 players there as well. It's Phelps who spots him going into towards defense, but Freiburg's ready for him. Takes another 2 HP, and Showtime turns up, taking down Exist.
Yeah, well done. Freiburg's come out worse for wear in this, but Showtime in the back of the site's not better off. 13. Just trying to find the angle with the AWP. It looked like he had it lined up, but a great shot's going to allow them in. Get Right's going to close on Henny. And Bolts is desperately walking into the smoke, so that force buy does not pay off. It's going to put them in round 15. They're still in a position to buy. I don't think they can go. No, they can't. They can't go for the double op. In fact, they can't get anything out in terms of AWPs. It's going to be utility, no kits except for Showtimes, and M4s and 1 from us.
Yeah, well, this is where someone needs to step up in these kind of rounds. Pushing towards the story of a flashbang. We know Get Right plays there by himself. Let's try and kill him first, then we can fall back. That would be probably my call as a coach right now. Let's try and get Right. He seems to be causing a little bit of a nuisance over that side, but no real aggression just yet from Immortals. NIP probably assuming there won't be AWPs available at this point. And once more, Get Right alone in towards that checker area. Going to be running through the Molotov there and gets his first kill. Very nice stuff from him. He seems to be finding some form now. Gets it into a 5-on-4. And Lucas alone on the B side. Gets some rotations in from Henny though.
And that smoke actually benefits Get Right to cross over as Lucas was trying to stare down and figure out exactly where he'd gone. Phelps is still pushed up in middle though. He'll get information. He'll have heard Freiberg coming back through the B connector. They've given up A entirely, Immortals. They're going to try and stack up this mid position, knowing that NIP has been pretty aggressive in trying to take it. And again, with the wall of smokes out, this now starts to look at Phelps to be the one to make the play. A single kill, only make it double. He was on 5 HP, and Exist couldn't find the bullet to take him down. That's now going to hand this advantage back in the way of Immortals. Forrest jump around, does make it onto the awning. He's going to try and catch them off guard as they're rotating back into A. Easily does so onto Bolts. And remember, as we mentioned, Phelps is on 5. He's the next one inside of the site, but again, he's going to burrow his way into a nook and cranny that's going to be hard to check, or is it? Pith immediately looks at the angle, and Bomb will go down, open plant. He's got the time to do it with Get Right holding him off, but an overcommitment from Get Right as he tries to jump up and spot above the smoke. It's Lucas to find him from the truck side, and Pith has got nowhere to run on this. If he goes toward that open position, default plant for A main, and he's already walking in behind with the AWP, so Pith really has to play this out. If there's one thing NIP should know from watching them early on in the day, it's that they have no kits commonly, but he doesn't bait it out long enough, and unfortunately he would have been sandwiched in. Lucas with the kill. It's going to go 9-6 for Immortals at the half.
Yeah, very disciplined 2-on-1 approach from Immortals. It was the pincer approach. One player winning in CT spawn. Lucas was coming in from A main. They knew having dead to rights at that point. As soon as he showed himself on Falklands, there was no chance he's going to win that round. NIP got caught out there. They went for those mid-wall of smoke that's supposed to separate CTs and segregate them from each other. On your screen right now, Phelps steps up, even though he's up against multiple players there. Normally if you're going to do that, you need someone boosted just to kind of take the aim away from both positions and make it very challenging for the CT. If you're both going out of one area, he doesn't need to move the crosshair, and it's still a 50-50 duel at that point. Phelps comes out on top, and Immortals do as well. 9-6 on the first half here in the grand final. They got the good start they were after, Matt, and that's a pretty good scoreline considering they're up against NIP, who seem to be unbeatable in cash right now.
I mean, it's an impressive rise throughout this tournament for Immortals considering how things started off.
Indeed. It did win the pistol once again and held off a force buy from NIP. Saw a few mistakes there from Nip, but it was Forrest. He's been in phenomenal form recently, and some huge clutches and opening moments from him. Continues that right into the grand final. Had a great performance from Malmo as well, and seems to be DreamHack is where he really steps up. As we get into the second half, though, we'll have a look at the Immortals buy and see if we can work out where they'll be heading towards and what kind of methodology they'll be applying here. 3 sets of armor, Henny and Phelps with the smokes and Molotovs as well. So this will be something quite tactical. Potentially towards the B site and try and flush out any sort of CTs, or maybe towards outside, maybe towards middle as well. Aggression from the CTs. NIP on a retake position towards the A side. It's Get Right. Boosted up, he'll be looking for that initial kill, then falling back and waiting for rotations. And then there's a bit of presence towards middle from the terrorists here. They're trying to hold them off, but he's going to be smoked out for now.
Get Right down early to Lucas. Remember, Immortals stole away the pistol from the NIP side in the first half with that last-second defuse on the kit pickup. And this time it's Freiberg, though, to try and limit them to getting into B. He has dropped the bomb, which will buy them more space, but Lucas is continuing to reign supreme. He's got 3 quick kills, finally silenced by Exist.
There it is.
Who finds Phelps on the fadeaway. And it's 2 versus 2. Kit still up for Freiberg. He's not with armor, though, which does mean the Glocks do have a decent chance. He nearly gets caught out in the open as well, and Bolts has the information on where both players are. Look how low he's taken Freiberg. It's easily able to be taken down from Showtime. And Exist, not with a kit, has to get toward that corpse if he even wants a chance of getting it. Molotov being thrown costs him because they both push out, and Bolts with the kill.
Yeah, it seems like Immortals really are stepping up in these tight situations. They get the opening frags, and Exist answers back with a couple of his own. It's a 2 versus 2. And we discussed Immortals. Sometimes they have a lack of fundamentals in some of those tense situations, but that was almost perfect from them. Locking down players and isolating them towards the B storage area, making sure that 2-on-1 situation is almost impossible for Exist at that point. Facing at different times and making it very difficult indeed. We're going to round number 17 here. Winning this, losing their second pistol here on Cash. So no real force by here. Exist, strangely enough, has gone for a scout. So he'll be looking towards middle, trying to rip off the head of the first player. But unfortunately for him, it's a straight up face from the main entrance, and Phelps sprays him down with the AK. Oh, there it is though. Pitt answers back, looking for his second kill though. Takes a ton of damage, and he has hit Lucas as well.
That is desperately close. Lucas on 13 HP after that exchange. Get Right with smoke in hand. Trying to time this correctly, but needs to be aware of the fact that Henny has gone out toward that squeaky position. And the rest of Immortals are approaching in toward A main. Pitt's still in the fold here, but he's gone so low on this scout. He just needs to get enough damage in that the pistols can clean them up. We know what Get Right can do with the CZ75, given the opportunity. And it's Pitt who wants to make that opportunity greater, but it's not going to work out. Not only that, Pitt's gone down to a nade from Bolts. And the entry, well, it's pretty flawless. NIP, they won't be able to pull an eco back out and try and salvage what's a lost pistol round. So both pistols against NIP, this game's going to be extremely hard for them.
Oh, absolutely. Now it's going to be a full eco next round. It was quite interesting in the start there. We did see the scout picked up by Pitt and he gets 1 kill, but that's all he really can do. Does a lot of damage towards Lucas and Henny, but doesn't really amount to much else than that. Bomb goes down towards A and NIP has locked out the round. You said CZ could work out for Get Right. He's had some amazing maps with that weapon so far. He goes with the full spray, doesn't really connect to anything. And like I said before, pretty much full eco at this point. NIP can probably get some PT50s, maybe a flashbang to push towards A main or B storage together and try and get that first pick. But this should be a given that it's going to be 12-6 at this stage. Immortals looking to flash towards her, very smoke purchase. Oh my god, the airstrike towards short there. Takes down Get Right, and he finds a double kill at the start of the round.
Phelps is going to add to that.
That's such a quick round.
Pretty quick indeed. Yep, that's about what all we could say about that one. So
yeah, well, that's a really nice anti-eco. When you know they actually haven't got armor at all, if you can do 3 HE grenades as you're walking towards a boost area and face middle at the same time, there's a ton of damage being inflicted, and the CTs have no choice but to either die or run away. They can't face at that point, so it's a really good way to get mid-control when you know that. Lacking armor, and it's a very quick round indeed, not dropping a single kill there. Immortals 12-6 now, getting closer to taking map number 1. We do have a buy for an IP, it's not the best. They haven't got the AWP, but they have got 5 rifles, 3 smokes, no incendiary, so they're going to struggle to hold off any fast play. Oh, there wasn't, there must have been one, but that's going to be used already.
Well, it's the only one, as you mentioned. Get Right back in behind the forklift again this time. Showtime's the one at the door instead. Lucas, he's going to spot those tracers. Pretty standard that you check forklift anyway, but it's just confirmation for them that Get Right is playing from that position. They brought Pith a little bit closer as he hugs the corner, not even back toward truck, just waiting for the opening. And Get Right, good pick, because he gets forced out by the Molotov. He had to fight into it, but he's gone down. Showtime opens the door and catches him in the open. And a fast shot from Henny not only saves his own life, but able to take out Exist in the process, gives him the advantage. And Pith, a little bit aggressive into the site, gets caught by a stray flash, and that's going to give him a chance to wrap back around, but Phelps, he watches the smoke. Freiberg down. Immortals 13-6 now with 4 straight rounds. First gun as well as that second half pistol, and NIP is going to be desperate as they go down to 2,900.
Yeah, Get Right gets that first kill towards A main with a perfect flashbang, locks him in towards the corner of the forklift area. The squeaky door open, he gets taken down, and NIP just can't make that retake happen. Henny gets the second frag, and just didn't have enough to work with there. It's a really nice take from Immortals. Flashbangs utilized perfectly. Pitt gets taken down, and this is such a big round for Immortals to win. It's an NIP eco once again. Desert Eagles in hand, Freiberg trying to go aggressive, but punished straight away. Henny finds him. 5-4. This should be 14 rounds granted towards Immortals, but like we said before, time and time again, you can never discount NIP out of any sort of situation. They always come back fighting and somehow always find a way back into these games, especially in the big ones.
Phelps is looking for whatever he can find as they've already got control of mid. And over toward B, they're going to head. Phelps will push all the way through here towards Z connector. He's just going to let that smoke fade before he commits to pushing through blindly. So Deagle on Pit, Forrest with the CZ. We've got a mix of pistol range, and Pit running, takes down Bolts, able to evade the flames. Forrest thought about boosting him up there so he could try and catch a cheeky angle, but that would have given away Forrest's position, so it might actually benefit them that he's not done so, because Forrest doesn't have to peek in this situation. He can wait till they're on the platform. He goes, gets information, not spotted out, knows they're wrapping around. That's the bomb. Showtime turns and realizes he's there, but that drops it down. 39 seconds, though, and Forrest still has 3 that he would have to clutch this out against as he looks toward upper. Immortals doing an excellent job of just playing this smart. There's no need to overcommit. Although he tries to poke away, it's going to be Phelps again. 14-6 now. Immortals 2 rounds away from snatching map 1. Cash from NIP.
It was a nice idea there from that back of the B side. Forrest and Pitt trying to work off each other, and Forrest does find a kill, but as soon as he gets it, he gets taken down straight away. He's hoping he wouldn't be detected and potentially could have picked up a double kill there, but it's not going to be working out for him. We go to round number 21. We do have Forrest on the AWP this time. I think for the first time in this half as well, so we'll see what he can do with this one. We're heading towards the B storage area. And surely Immortals is going to be running a default at this stage, but it looks like a fast mid play, you know. Vods makes it out, and he actually gets the first kill somehow while he's blind as well. Headshot on towards Pit. It's going to be a reaction from Freiberg, trying to get the kill back in their favor. Manages to get it from the vent as well, and there it is. Exist chimes in. Great work from Freiberg as he goes with the refrag and hits the shot as well.
And smartly done from Freiberg. Didn't fall down into the flames. They were waiting for him from the toxic side, and he goes back, catches them off. He's got a third. It's showtime traded after he takes down Exist and Bolts 1 versus 3. Finally, an MP going to get around in this second half.
It begins. The campaign.
Immortals, Astralis. Not sure it's the same thing. But Freiberg's going to have to start the dream again.
Well, Freiberg, that's a really nice round from him. They lose that first pick, and he just comes in straight away, the reaction. And most 4 of them down from the vent area. It's a very tricky position to play from, especially going for the second frag here. They know exactly where he is, but you're absolutely right. That fire was waiting for him beneath. And this is the kill that really summed up the round. Exist found one as well, but Freiberg played very well this tournament as well. And there it is. As I said, the campaign begins now. And IP to hold on as long as possible to grind their way back into this round by round. They go into number 22. They're all back up for Tenny. They'll be looking for aggression towards A main once more. CT's looking like they're interested in this idea, flirting with the prospect of pushing through that smoke. And there it is. So it's going to be a boost this time. They don't like to do the run boost, we found out.
No, they don't. I don't know why, but they don't.
They're going to decide against it. Let's get right falls back to the bomb site. He's joined by Exist as well.
Bolts is going to be playing on the wing as Get Right did on the first half to try and catch off an early pick on the B site. He's actually playing it passively so as to catch them off if they were to push. And Freiberg, for a moment, looked like he might. Clears out close angles at the very least. That Molotov serves to clear mid, which indicates that with that pushed back, they may try and go for this with the smokes out as well. Pit doesn't have much to answer it. Phelps will make his approach. He's the closest one over to this vent side as Freiberg is the one waiting on the other side of that vent. He's going to play corner because he can't get caught out. His only rotation is back through that doorway. That can be spotted from B main, and if they come from both sides, he's got to play a better position where he's not opened up, not sitting in no man's land. And Phelps, as soon as he drops, that's the indication that Freiberg will hear this.
Yep. And they've got Forrest on the other side as well, but it's all a ruse. Phelps is going to be the bait, and that footstep is enough to rotate Pit over as well. The rest of the terrorists are towards the A side, leaving Get Right alone. Freiberg drops first, but there it is. Forrest strikes back, and now it's up to Get Right to hold off the attack towards the A side.
He does manage to spray down one, but Exist has made an excellent rotation to get back in time. They wouldn't have been expecting it, and he's able to hold out on 2. 9 seconds, they have to get the bomb. Just needs to stay alive. Exist is caught inside of the site, but Henny, he doesn't have the bomb. He doesn't have the round. And that means Forrest just has to sit back. He committed to the pick, and he didn't go for the bomb. It was there, but I don't think he had time for both.
He must have got the call that Forrest killed the other player in towards B. That's where he was. He was at the back of the B site. He found the kill onto that loose player on the B site. And he almost played against himself at that point. Now, I think there was 6 seconds remaining when he had the opportunity to jump onto the bomb. I'm going to say, put it out there, he had a chance to actually plant.
We're not going to see it. I think the problem was when he killed Exist, there was 6, but either way, it is a questionable play to go after Forrest in that, but it doesn't matter. Nip will take it. They're going to grab 1 round at a time in this. Now, the problem is as well, with that 5-round spread that Immortals did get, this is the last buy for Immortals, so they still have guns up, and NIP, their economy's not great. Break here, and it's all over, but win here, and they could potentially get into double digits quite quickly.
Well then, Pete, fine round number 8. It's going to be another A-sided attack here. No bait this time. It's going to be full-on attack. Flashbang comes in, and here come the Brazilians.
And the first shot successful. Exist again. He's the one to double grip. Get Right's gone down, but a reload, and he doesn't have time for it. Thankfully, Pith is able to just catch through the edge of that forklift, the second player. And Lucas, and they've distracted well enough as Pith to let Freiberg close out on 1. He wraps back around, and it's 14-9. Money is now gone.
It's not in complete
good point, actually, though. With the bomb plant in the previous, they actually still have 2 players, so the timeout could be interesting.
So yeah, they definitely have options here in the timeout. I think with this bed of rounds, it's not worth the force buy at this point. It's 3 rounds in a row for an IP. The problem is for them, they don't want the CT economy to swell, but with 49 available, I think you just want to take a partial buy here, maybe drop a few Tech 9s, do a similar play what we saw from NIP, smokes onto the A side, try and dent their economy. Don't go in trying to win the round at a full force buy at this point. It looks like they will be upgrading their pistols. Not going to be having armor, so there it is. Tech 9s, PT-50s, a few smokes and flashbangs here, and it's a double warp setup for an IP. So this could be interesting. If the smokes are effective and able to flash the closer players, they could push through those smokes and find the retreating AWP players here, and this could be a potential chance for them to take the round, and what a way to do it and get to map points. But NIP are looking strong right now. Reading the game pretty well. As It's round number 24. This next one will bring NIP to double digits. Can they do it again here? After an amazing performance on Cobble in the semi-final. They seem to have so much mental fortitude. Most teams will be checked out at this point and wouldn't be able to dig so deep to find these rounds time and time again and keep their heads high, but it's NIP. They are the veterans, they're the masters of this.
So they have leveled out the cache. I'm curious to see this double op work for NIP this late in the game.
It's nothing too crazy though for Immortals. It's just going to be the upgraded pistols, no armor like you said. I think the two players are a little bit wealthier. They've dropped the Tech 9s as well just to keep things at an even keel. But one smoke, 4 flashbangs. To me that suggests going towards A and just smoking off towards the highway, flashing in as much as possible. They know where NIP like to play from. This exists, who's been a problem from the forklift area. Try and flash him off as much as possible and try and get a bomb down at all costs. The thing is, NIP, I think they'll probably be able to read that it's going to be an eco situation. They don't need to react to this like we normally see CD teams after a pause. They don't need to be going for those aggressive picks, especially if they have 2 orbs to lose as well. Just sit back, maybe not even have any mid-presence there. Allow the terrorists to have that position, hold back, let the orbs do work, and we'll see what Forest and Pitt can pick up with these sniper rifles.
Well, back underway, here we go. And NIP, can they continue the charge to get into at least double digits and hold Immortals away from that elusive overtime point? Forrest gets in toward the B site. It's Freiberg. It's going to wrap back around inside of these smokes and make sure they don't push aggressively. But he's got to fall back quickly, and Forrest won't have the angle to necessarily defend him with that AWP based on his positioning, but the pistols are going to go beyond Freiberg, so now Forrest has to line them up. Freiberg's going to get the call that they've made it through, tries to spray in the smoke. That gives away where he's playing from, but they're still focusing in the site, and that lets him clean it up, and he's going to do exactly that. Everyone goes down, and NIP, they may lose one in all of that. It's an AWP that they'll re-grab. Oh, they didn't actually make it. I take it back. So they did lose an AWP out of it, but they do pick up the round.
It does dent the economy slightly there. It's a big scout to take down the AWP at the back of the site, but here we go. This is where things get interesting. 14-10 now. Here's the replay of Freiberg just clearing up those remaining terrorists of the Desert Eagles there. Pretty clean round for NIP overall, but tons of cash available for Mortals. You can see a nice full buy coming in, an AWP on Henne as well. Default play coming in. Henne all the way in. He's spawning now, boosted up on the sign, seeing if there is any aggression from the CTs here. They're not mixing things up too tremendously. Get right flashes in towards A main. Not going to be pushing a dose, seeing if there is any reaction from that. Listens out for the spray down or some reaction grenades. Pretty standard from both teams at the moment. We can see Forest has pushed into B storage, hunting for a little bit of info here. Won't find much as Vods is waiting in the connector area. And he takes the smoke as well.
And he's already boosted up smoke. Gonna land in front of the connector, exist. Molotov immediately back off. It's gonna relinquish that pressure applied toward middle. They're gonna bring Freiberg over instead on rotation to just throw a nade, but it's basically gonna be a full rotation of 2 players to the A site to complement Get Right.
Well, right now, like I said, mid has been left open and rotated onto the bomb sites here. Open the hands of Pitt, he's towards that quad area, watching high with the Forest. He gets a little bit too aggressive there. Didn't really have much to work with. He's by himself, pushing B, gets taken down. There's still time to play as well. Looks like the terrorists will be adjusting themselves towards the B site. All 5 players coming in thick and fast.
Watch Get Right's rotation because he elects not to go to heaven and gets smoked off at tree as a result, which means Freiberg is still isolated inside of the site. The Molotov at heaven means the second rotation won't have vision either. Exist is going to try and get to the vent, but he's going to have to hurry it up. Get Right's managed one on the showtime, but there it is. Timing's there for Exist. However, Get Right's not, so it's still a disadvantage for them, and the bomb is going to be planting right now inside of the site. Well done from Exist to stay alive in that situation, but down to 7 HP. And Pitt with an AWP on this retake.
Yeah, but Exist in such a horrible position. He's got 7 HP in the vent, has to rotate for a teammate potentially here. Time ticking away. And he's just trying to get the wallbang for the vent, hoping something works in his favor. There's no reason for Bolts to give that away. And Pitt's waiting for the opportunity to take the shot. There it is, but he doesn't land it. And there Exist drops. That's the round over. It's going to be map points here for Immortals.
Tries it.
Yeah, souvenir shot there. So he can take someone down with him, but the round is going to be lost at this point. It was Forest this time, pushing in towards that B storage area. It was a complete default from Immortals. They hadn't shown their hand anywhere else. Bold play from him. He gets punished for it. Gives that first kill away, it opens the floodgates, and like he said, Get Right rotating to the incorrect position. He gets smoked out straight away. He does manage to find 1 kill, but play on the B side couldn't hold strong. Freiburg actually had a nice lineup as well to get the double spray down. He had the AK on the B-bomb site. He needed to get at least one kill there, couldn't find it. And one more round will do it. 5 in a row required for an IP. They still have money available as well. Orcs out. 4 and 4s. We'll see if Immortals can close things out right here, right now.
Couple smoke out on the B main tunnels this time, but Forrest not electing to push through. Showtime already inside of A main is waiting for the flash. He's at lockers, which is a bit of a different play. Actually, okay, so take that back. Minimap misled me. It looked like he was on the other side of the wall from our perspective. He's still out toward long, just waiting for that push. We saw him actually do that earlier today to great effect against Godsent, where he picked up 3 kills on a 4 that pushed through. And IP not going to follow in the same footsteps, and he'll now advance.
Thing is, it's Mirage second as well. It's a real chance for Immortals to dig their heels and give us a real chance of winning the grand final. It's a very default play right now, smoking off towards Connector. It decides to fall back. He needs to play with the AWP on the CT side. Mid control has been obtained by the terrorists. Vods watching the vent area, and they just want to work out what their next move is going to be by the reaction from the CT. We talk about it time and time again. CT's hunting for information. Get right boosted up on the A site. Been in a common position this tournament. Hasn't worked out tremendously effectively, but still, it's always good for one frag, it seems.
So Pitt, not being directly in mid, has his attention down there with the AWP and was trying to let Exist get information based on that to walk out after a flash, but the rotation's a little bit late. And I mean, Bolts is just going to walk cleanly around the corner. Exist goes down. That's the opening they may need to go toward the A site. That certainly is. Pitt gone as well. That's the AWP down as they push through. Get right in the site. Bomb going to be planted. And I dare say this might be the end. 15 seconds, they'll get the bomb down.
That is it.
And it's, yeah, all Freiburg. 1 versus 5. Immortals, they've done it. They've stolen a map away. The nip choice in front of the home crowd is not going to work out. Freiburg has something to say about it, though. First kill is successful, but flash timing off. He's, oh, in the open. Somehow pulls it off at 5 HP. If he does this, the clutch of a lifetime. Still 1 versus 3. But there it is. Finally, it does end. It's 16-10. Immortals up 1 after struggling early on in this tournament during the grand final.
Yep. Winning both pistols there and some great approaches in their clutch situations. They were a very well-oiled machine, especially in the second half as well. NIP finally got something rolling there towards the end, but as 1 round was acquired from the Brazilians, it came down to a tight B hold, and NIP just couldn't hold them off long enough.